Hello students. The next point of this topic is the protein synthesis. One point is there remain, that is the Michelson and Stahl experiment. After replication of DNA, the proof of that replication is of the Michelson and Stahl experiment. That experiment we are going to study at the last of this topic. So you don't consider it as it is missing part, but I will discuss it at the last. And now we will see the protein synthesis, which is the major part of this topic. So protein synthesis is mainly due to the DNA molecule. That means the protein, which is the important biomolecule of the cell, and these protein molecules are synthesized by the DNA molecule by the process, and that process are called as the transcription and the translation. So this transcription and the translation, these are the two important processes by which the DNA molecule forms the protein molecules. So protein synthesis is under the control of the DNA molecule. As we know, these proteins are very important for the cell because major structural component of our body is made up of this protein. That means in our hair there is a keratin protein is present, in our nail also keratin protein is present, the plasma membrane also contain the protein, and in major part of our body, in major part of our cell, these protein molecules are present. So they are important structural component. As well as these proteins are also important as a role of it as an enzyme. So we say that all enzymes are protein, but not all proteins are the enzymes. So all the enzymes which carry out the biochemical reaction in the cell are chemically made up of the protein. There are some hormones which are secreted by the endocrine gland, and majority of hormones are proteinous in nature. For example, insulin, this hormone is a proteinous in nature. So all these are the functions of the protein, and these proteins are very essential to our body, to our cell for their metabolism. So they are continuously synthesized inside the body, inside the cell by the process, and those processes are called as transcription and translation under the control of the DNA molecule. So we'll see in detail how this protein synthesis is carried out. There is a one central dogma. It is called as the central dogma. What is the central dogma? Central dogma is given by the scientist Crick. Central dogma is given by the scientist Crick, and according to the central dogma, the protein synthesis takes place by the two processes. Those are the transcription and translation. But what is actually the central dogma define, or what it tells to us, that we will see here. According to the central dogma, first this DNA molecule, first this DNA molecule by the process of, see here, according to this central dogma, this DNA molecule by the process of transcription form the mRNA molecule, and from this mRNA by the process of translation these protein molecules are formed. We may say also here that is the polypeptide chain, but in textbook there is given the polypeptide. So polypeptide is nothing but it is a chain which form the protein. So according to the central dogma, which is proposed by Crick, the two processes are involved. One is called as the transcription and other is called as the translation. What is meant by transcription? In the transcription process, DNA molecule form the mRNA molecule. mRNA means messenger RNA. It is a type of RNA, and this mRNA molecule by the process of translation forms the polypeptide chain, that is meant by protein formation. So it is the center dogma. One question is asked for the one sentence question, that is what is the center dogma, then you have to write this center dogma: transcription process from DNA to mRNA and translation process from mRNA to protein. It is a center dogma and it is given by scientist Crick. So name of the scientist is also important because it is asked for MCQ, who gives the center dogma. The name of the scientist is the Crick, who proposed this center dogma. But in some viruses, those viruses are called as retroviruses or riboviruses. So see here some retroviruses, or which we also call as a riboviruses. You should know that there are various classes of these viruses, and one of the class is the retrovirus, and these viruses generally found in the cancer cell, and they carries out the reverse transcription process, means majority of the cell form the, or in majority of the cell DNA form the mRNA, but in these viruses RNA form the DNA, and so we'll see the reverse transcription. And in these retroviruses or the riboviruses, the central dogma is different, and it is given by the scientist, and name of that scientist is Temin and Baltimore. So Temin and Baltimore. Temin and Baltimore, these are the two scientists who gave the central dogma in these retroviruses. And which are that one? See here they say that DNA by transcription generally forms RNA, or we may say that the mRNA, and this RNA by translation forms polypeptide or the protein. But in this retroviruses, according to this Temin and Baltimore, instead of forming DNA to RNA by the process of transcription, this RNA form the DNA. Instead of formation of mRNA or rRNA by the DNA, which is occurring general process, mRNA or RNA form the DNA, and that is called as a reverse transcription. Reverse to transcription process, that is called as the reverse transcription. So another question is asked for the state board for theory point of view, that is which center dogma is found in the retroviruses or the riboviruses. So these retroviruses or the riboviruses is one of the class of the virus where the RNA form the DNA. That's why it is called as reverse transcription, and this center dogma was given by scientist Temin and the Baltimore. So these two center dogma, this center dogma is found in normally all the cells, but in few retroviruses you will find such a type of the center dogma. One more point is important in this Temin and Baltimore center dogma is that the process where the RNA forms the DNA is always under the role of enzyme, and name of that enzyme is RNA dependent DNA polymerase. What I am saying, RNA dependent DNA polymerase. See here what I have written here. The enzyme which carry out the synthesis of the DNA from the RNA in this retrovirus or the ribovirus are under the control of the enzyme, and the name of that enzyme is RNA dependent DNA polymerase. See here, when the DNA are formed, the role of that enzyme is, or the name of that enzyme is DNA polymerase. When RNA form, the name of that enzyme is the RNA polymerase. Here, you will find the role of the DNA polymerase, but this DNA polymerase are working under the control of RNA. So it is given as the name RNA dependent DNA polymerase. It is also important for MCQ because question is asked that which enzyme is involved in the reverse transcription. The name of that enzyme is DNA polymerase, but which DNA polymerase? RNA dependent DNA polymerase. That polymerase enzyme work under the control of RNA. So this word is also important. RNA dependent DNA polymerase. Okay, now you will very clear about the protein synthesis is under the control of the DNA molecule. This protein has many roles in our body as an enzyme, as a hormone, as a structural component. These proteins can be synthesized in the cell by the two processes, that is the transcription and the translation. And for that process, the scientist Crick, who gives the central dogma, which defines that first, this DNA by the process of transcription form the mRNA, and this mRNA by the process of translation form the polypeptide chain, that means the proteins. Okay, and the reverse transcription phenomenon or the reverse process you will find in some retroviruses or the riboviruses, in which center dogma is little different, and it is given by scientist Temin and Baltimore. Here what happened? DNA do not form the RNA. Instead of that, RNA form the DNA, and that is called as the reverse transcription. So this is the difference between the center dogma of the Crick and the center dogma of the Temin and the Baltimore. Okay, now one more point we have seen here, that the enzyme which is required for center dogma of Temin and Baltimore is RNA dependent DNA polymerase enzyme. It is RNA dependent DNA polymerase enzyme. Okay, this is about the introductory part of this protein synthesis. Now we will see in detail the first process of the protein synthesis, that is called as the transcription. Now we'll see how this transcription occurs. That means we'll see first what is mean by transcription. Which strand of the DNA are involved in the process of transcription, because we say that DNA from the RNA. So from DNA there is a formation of the RNA. So as up to this lecture we have seen that DNA is the double stranded structure. So not two strands of DNA at a time are involved in the formation of RNA. Only one strand of DNA get involved in the formation of RNA. So we have to see which strand of DNA is involved in the formation of RNA and which strand do not take part in the RNA formation. So we are going to study the names of the two strands of the DNA. At the same time, we are also going to study that the which requirements are necessary for that transcription process, and that we are to study under the title transcription unit. And at last we will see how this DNA from the mRNA and how there is a processing of mRNA takes place only in eukaryotic but not in the prokaryotic. So first we will see the process of transcription in the protein synthesis. This transcription process, as in simple meaning, we have seen the transcription means formation of mRNA from DNA, that we have called as a transcription. But the correct definition of the transcription, if asked for our theory point, then you have to write the correct definition of the transcription and what is mean by the transcription. So transcription means the process of copying of information genetic information from one strand, and that strand is always called as the template strand. From one strand of DNA, from one strand of DNA into single stranded RNA transcript. The word is very important. RNA transcript is called as the transcription. Okay, what is meant by transcription? Very clear about this definition, because the process of transcription is a little bit confusing. That's why we are discussing it very slowly, and you will have to understand first the process or the definition of the transcription. Transcription means the process of copying of genetic information. Which information get copied? Of the genetic information from which part to another part, from one strand. Very important word is there, one strand. Only one strand of the DNA is involved in the process of transcription. So it is very important. It's always asked for the MCQ that which strands are involved in the process of the transcription. So you should know only one strand of the DNA is involved in the process of transcription. From this one strand of the DNA, the genetic information get copied. Okay, that strand we call as a template strand. The strand which copy their information on the RNA strand, and that strand is called as a template strand. In the last lecture, in the lecture of the replication of DNA, we have also seen this name, that is the template. Another name of template we have seen the mold. Template or the mold means the strand which form the new daughter strand, which is also called as the parent strand. But here the template word means that the strand which form, or the strand from which the information get copied to single stranded RNA transcript. That information get copied into the single stranded RNA transcript. Why it is called as RNA transcript? We also say that the process of copying of genetic information from one strand of DNA into the single stranded RNA. It is also correct, but some students think that what is meant by RNA transcript. RNA transcript means the strand of the RNA which are formed during the process of transcription, that we call as a RNA transcript. Very clear about it? RNA transcript means the strand of the RNA which is formed from the DNA in the process of transcription is called as RNA transcript. Okay, so it is very important definition of the transcription. It is also asked for the question or of the one sentence in the theory point of view. So you should know the definition of this transcription. So from the transcription point or transcription definition, you will get the clear idea that only one strand of the DNA is involved in the process of transcription, and from that process only one RNA strand is formed. So there is a formation of single strand of RNA, and there is the involvement of single strand of DNA. So both strands are single one which are formed in the process of the transcription, or which are involved in the process of transcription. Next to it, what we have to see, there is the enzyme which has a role in this process, and the name of that enzyme is the RNA polymerase. It is very important another point, that is which enzymes carry out the process of transcription. The name of that enzyme is RNA polymerase enzyme, which carry out this process of transcription. previous we have seen that the RNA dependent DNA polymerase has a role in the reverse transcription, and only the RNA polymerase enzyme has a role in the transcription. See, in this topic, from this point you have to see number of different enzymes. We have also seen different type of enzymes in the DNA replication. So number of enzymes are there at each point, and you have to keep in mind all the names of this enzyme. So second enzyme here we are discussing today, that is the RNA polymerase, and this enzyme carry out the process of transcription. It is involved in the process of transcription from copying the genetic information from DNA to the RNA. So here we will see what happened. This role I am going to discussing now. This is the double-stranded DNA. This DNA has anti-parallel strand. One strand is called as the 5' to 3', and other strand is called as 3' to 5'. Okay. First, what happened? These both strands of the DNA get separated. So one strand gets separated, we call as a 5' to 3'. Other strand also gets separated, we call it as a 3' to 5'. Thus, these two strands of DNA first get separated in the process of transcription. Now what happens? Of these two strands, only one strand get involved in the transcription process, and that strand, suppose this is the strand which we call as the template strand. This template strand is involved in the process of transcription. There is no role of this strand of the DNA. Now what happens here? We are discussing this much part only, so you have to focus on this figure only. Okay, here we have shown the double-stranded DNA in the process of transcription. This double-stranded DNA gets separated. One strand is 5' to 3', other strand is 3' to 5'. As we are told in the definition, only one strand is involved. 3' to 5' strand is involved. The name of that strand is called as the template strand. What is the sequence of the nitrogen base on this template strand? See here: adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, guanine. This is the sequence of the nitrogen base on this template strand. Now what happened? All the information that we call as the genetic information from this template DNA now get transferred on this RNA. Okay, and now which information is transferred, or which nitrogen base they can carry out on this RNA strand? See here, if it is a 3' to 5' end of the DNA template, then this is the strand of the mRNA, and it should be read as 5' to 3'. Okay, if it is 3' to 5' template strand of DNA which copy its genetic information on the single-stranded RNA, then that strand of the RNA should read as 5' to 3'. Okay, here I label it as a mRNA. And see here what happened. A pairs with U. Why U? Because in RNA, thymine is replaced by uracil. In RNA, thymine is replaced by uracil because thymine is present only in DNA, and instead of that thymine, uracil is present in RNA. If you see the nitrogen bases in DNA, adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine, and in RNA, adenine, uracil, guanine, and cytosine. Only one change is there. Instead of thymine, at that place uracil is present in RNA, and thymine is usually present in the DNA. So what happened? In last lecture we have seen that A pairs with T by double hydrogen bond, and G pairs with C by triple hydrogen bond. But here what happened? A pairs cannot pair with T because thymine is replaced by uracil. That's why instead of thymine we have written here uracil, double hydrogen bond. G pairs with C, that is cytosine. C pair with G, that is guanine. T pairs with A because adenine is present usually in the RNA, and again G pairs with C. So such a type of the genetic information is transferred in this RNA. We may call it as a complementary base pairing between this DNA and the RNA. One change is there, that is the thymine in RNA gets replaced by uracil, or in other words we say that thymine is absent in RNA and at that place there is a presence of uracil, and uracil is absent in DNA, at that place there is presence of thymine. So this is very important process which involves the transcription. Now we have seen that here this RNA polymerase carry out this process of the transcription. But we have to see most important thing, that where this transcription found and where you will find the translation. So we will see first transcription process, where it takes place and how it is carried out, in which stage of the eukaryotes. Then what happened here, as we know, that is, we have seen that protein synthesis is completed in two steps, transcription and translation. This process of transcription, where DNA form the mRNA, it is generally carried out in the nucleus of the cell. It is carried out in the nucleus of the cell, because DNA is present in the nucleus. Okay, DNA is present in the nucleus of the cell. From this DNA there will be formation of mRNA. As DNA is present in the nucleus, mRNA is also formed in the nucleus. So this process of transcription is found in the nucleus of the cell in eukaryote, and in prokaryotic not well developed nucleus is there, so we say that nucleoid is there, and in that nucleoid formation you will find the process of transcription. Okay, now the next process in the protein synthesis, that we say that it is a translation, and this process of translation is found in the eukaryotic, in the cytoplasm, but in prokaryotic it is present in that same part, because you are well known that the prokaryotic cell is not well developed, so there is no distinction between the nucleus and cytoplasm. There is no compartment in between the nucleus and cytoplasm, so both are mixed one. So we are studying here the eukaryotic cell only, so you have to know where the transcription in the eukaryotic cell occur, in the nucleus, and transcription process occur in the cytoplasm. How? See here, these mRNA which are formed in the nucleus by the process of transcription, they move to the cytoplasm. Then it moves to the cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, the important cell organelles are present. For example, ribosome, because protein synthesis in the last year in the topic of cell unit of life, we have seen that ribosome is the protein factory, because in that cell organelle, mainly ribosomes are mainly responsible for the protein synthesis. So, for the formation of the protein, this mRNA goes into the cytoplasm where the ribosomes are present, and with the help of these ribosomes there will be formation of the protein. So cytoplasm is the area where protein formation takes place, translation occurs, and the nucleus is the area of the cell where the transcription occurs. So you should also know that in which part of the cell the transcription process is carried out, and in which part of the cell the translation process is carried out. So these 2 points are very important one for the discussing this protein synthesis. Now we will see here that, and one more point is there, that is where or in which phase of the cell this transcription takes place in the eukaryotic cell. So two phases of the cell cycle, G1 and G2 phase. In these phases there will be formation of the transcription process in the eukaryotic cell takes place, because cell cycle or the interphase is divided into 3 stages, G1, S and G2. In last lecture we have seen that in a S phase there is the formation of the protein, while in the G1 and the G2 phase there will be formation of the proteins. So G1 and G2, these are the two important phases of the cell cycle where you will find the transcription process takes place. And the translation process is the next part of this. It is also related to this G1 and G2 phase. Okay, so if the question is asked that in which phase of the cell cycle transcription is carried out, then we say that it is carried out in the G1 and the G2 phase. Okay, so this is very important part of the transcription. For this transcription process, now we'll see which requirements are necessary for the DNA template to copy its genetic information into the RNA. Up to this, we have seen that the RNA polymerase enzyme is a very important enzymes which carry out the process of the transcription. This transcription occurs in the nucleus, and if we see that in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes, in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes, this transcription occurs by 3 steps. Which are those? Initiation, elongation, and termination. These are the 3 processes by which the transcription process is carried out. Initiation means starting. At that place, there will be starting or formation of the RNA, mRNA gets started. Elongation means this chain, small chain of the mRNA which is formed in the initiation phase get elongated. Its length get increases. That is called as the elongation. And stop of the process of transcription is called as the termination. So both prokaryotic and eukaryotic involves initiation, elongation, and the termination point. And now we'll see the first point, that is the transcription unit. Which is the necessary part of the template DNA, because when the transcription unit is present near the template DNA, then and then only this template DNA can carry out the process of transcription. Then what is mean by transcription unit? म्हणजे ट्रान्सक्रिप्शन युनिट असल्याशिवाय सिंगल स्टँडर्ड टेम्पलेट DNA RNA तयार करू शकणार नाही, mRNA तयार करू शकणार नाही. मग हे ट्रान्सक्रिप्शन युनिट म्हणजे काय ते आपल्याला इथे बघायचं आहे. आणि ट्रान्सक्रिप्शन युनिटची पहिल्यांदा तुम्हाला स्टेट बोर्डला एक डेफिनेशन दिलेले आहे. ते डेफिनेशन मी आधी तुम्हाला सांगते. व्हॉट इज मीन बाय ट्रान्सक्रिप्शन युनिट? ईच ट्रान्सक्राइब segment of DNA is called unit. What is the definition? Each transcribed segment of DNA is called as transcription unit. Means the DNA or the strand which we have given the name template DNA, which form the RNA, and that segment of the DNA is called as the transcription unit, because it is involved in the process of transcription. Other strand of DNA is not involved in the transcription. So the unit or the strand of DNA which are going to form the mRNA, that strand is called as the transcription unit. So what is the definition? Each transcribe means the segment or the strand of DNA which are involved in the process of transcription, that is called as the transcribed segment of DNA is called as the transcription unit. It is called as the transcription unit. This transcribed segment of DNA should have the 3 important components which are also called as the important component of the transcription unit. Or in other words, we say that 3 important components should be there on this transcribed segment of DNA or on to this transcription unit, and those segments are. So this is about the transcription unit. The process of the protein synthesis both in prokaryotes and eukaryotes takes place by the initiation, elongation and the termination process. Now we will see the transcription unit which is present on the template DNA, and without the transcription unit that DNA cannot form the RNA. So which components are essential in this transcription unit? Those components include, first point is the promoter, second one is the structural genes, and third one is terminator. See here, transcription unit includes promoter, structural gene and the terminator. These three factors is called as the transcription unit, and they are present on the template DNA. If they are not found on the template DNA, that template DNA cannot be able to form the mRNA. So this transcription unit is very essential for the transcription process. Without it, the DNA cannot form the mRNA. So it is very, very important. Again, I will draw here a rough figure to explain the role of promoter, structural gene and the terminator. How it is carried out? See here. This is the strand of DNA which we label as 5' to 3'. This strand is involved in the process of the transcription. So in this strand, at the start, there is present some sequence of DNA, and that sequence we call it as a promoter sequence. At the 3' end of the DNA, at the 3' end of the DNA, there are some sequence of DNA which we call as a terminator. And in between this promoter and terminator, there are some sequence of the genes that we call as a structural gene. Okay? Then the DNA which are going to form the mRNA has a transcription unit which includes promoter, structural gene and terminator. Promoter region is present at the start of the DNA at 5' end, which start the process of the transcription. Terminator region is present at the end of DNA, that is at the 3' end, which stop the process of transcription or terminate the process of transcription. And the genes which actually get copied on the mRNA strands are called as the structural genes, and they are present in between this promoter and the terminator. They are present in between the promoter and terminator. Okay, one point is not given clearly in textbook, and that point I am going to discuss here. That is, we are clear about the role of promoter, that is the starting of the process of transcription, role of terminator, that is the ending of the process of transcription or the termination of the process of transcription. But the structural genes which are present on this DNA includes intron and exon. Structural genes mainly intron and exon. This part is not clearly given in the textbook. That's why I am giving focus on this part, that is intron and exon. These are the some coding and non-coding sequence, or in other word we say that the structural gene, and these genes actually during the process of transcription get copied or get transformed on the mRNA strand. So this structural gene's role is that they get transferred or get copied on the newly formed mRNA strand. So it is very, very important that the transcription unit should present along with the strand of DNA which is involved in the process of transcription. This transcription unit should have three components: promoter, structural gene and the terminator. Position of the terminator is always at the 3 prime end of the DNA, whose function is the termination of the or the stop of the process of transcription. The promoter region is always present at the starting of the DNA strand, that is at the 5 prime end of the strand, and its role is the initiation of the process of transcription. Actually, on this promoter region, the enzyme that we have seen, RNA polymerase enzyme, is bind. And this enzyme, when bind on this promoter region, then and then only the RNA synthesis carried out. So role of promoter is RNA polymerase enzyme bind on this promoter region and the process of transcription start. And the structural genes are present in between this promoter and terminator gene or terminator region, and these structural genes are formed or get transformed into or on the mRNA strand. These structural genes include intron and they include the exon. So these are some of the important points of this transcription unit. See here, there are number of theories are given in the transcription process. We are discussing it very slowly because number of students cannot get clearly this transcription process in first attempt. That's why in today's lecture, the part that we have discussed is or are, which are this point. That is the first we have seen, that is the how proteins are important. Protein synthesis is carried out by transcription and the translation process. Then transcription is carried out in the nucleus of the cell, while the translation process is carried out in the cytoplasm of the cell. Central dogma is given for the transcription by the scientist Crick, and Temin and Baltimore has given the central dogma for the retroviruses or for the riboviruses, which is somewhat reverse to the normal central dogma of the Crick. Then the next point, we have seen that this transcription process, which is carried out in the nucleus of the cell, has role of only one strand of DNA in that process, and that strand we have given name the template strand. We have also seen that due to the complementary base pairing, this template strand forms the another single strand of the RNA. And at the same time, we have seen that the template DNA, which has a role in the process of transcription, has the two important, or we say that the three important components, and that together we call as a transcription unit. And those components are the promoter region, the structural gene, and the terminator. This transcription process generally in eukaryotic cell takes place in the G1 and the G2 phase. This G1 and G2 phase are the phases of the cell cycle. Okay, so all these are about the transcription. Not here we have completed the transcription process. We have seen some of the important steps of this transcription, but again we have to study that. In the next lecture we are going to study the character diagram of this transcription process, how the two strands are involved. One strand is called as coding strand, another strand is called as non-coding strand, or sense and antisense strands. Why this promoter always get attached to the 5 prime end, why terminator always get attached to the 3 prime end. Then we are also going to study the processing of this mRNA in the eukaryotic cell. Okay.